on Capitol Hill. Congressman Brady, thank you so much for being with us. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Chris. Thanks for summoning me. I appreciate it. I love being on Fox, love being on your online show. Thanks.
Well, good. We love having you. Now, as I was just telling the folks, you are a pretty big deal on the Ways and Means Committee, and you guys have a lot to say about where money goes and how it's spent in Washington. You're watching this all unfold. You also have a very strong reputation as a conservative inside the caucus. Where do you think we really stand? Are we just killing time till we get to a final deal at the end between the president and the Senate?
You know, I think really the goal of Cut, Cap, and Balance is to lay out our plan. I guess our frustration is we hear leaks, we hear lots about what the president's proposing. No one's ever seen it. So we're going ahead with, look, this is what it would take, a balance of immediate cuts to show both job creators, American public, we're serious, you know, caps that eventually, ultimately shrink the size of government this decade and holds it down at a lower level. And then finally, you know, sending to the states a constitutional balanced budget to see if we can't get ratification from the states. I don't know ultimately what if that will pass or not, our states, but I love having that debate at the state level.
Well, now you're making it kind of squeezy for the president, though, because as there's nothing passed, there's nothing on the table, as you point out, as they wait and go through this final round of brinksmanship before we get to the deadline. It sounds like the position in the House is, well, we're just going to go ahead and pass our plan so that it's on the table. Do you think that it will be effective in pushing the president towards a tougher cuts plan?
Well, I certainly hope so. I think he's still... You know, regrettably, Chris, he's still stuck on the tax increases, which I don't understand. The cuts that I've seen, some are real, some are not. I don't think it's the volume that we need in the House. And at the end of the day, if we're going to avoid, you know, default or avoid an increase in interest rates or downgrade of our credit rating, you know, I think we need to move now so the president might as well know exactly where we stand. I think it could help.
Now, the knock on the cut, cap, and balance package that you're talking about and that all the conservatives in the House and in the Senate are very fired up about, the knock is that it doesn't require people to make public their stance for cuts to entitlement programs and other things. You simply dial in a number and you say this is the percentage of the gross domestic product at which the federal government can run, whether it's 18% or 20%, that's going to necessitate huge cuts, and that this is in a way a dodge, that you guys aren't saying, well, we want to cut this much from Medicare. You're just saying we're going to take it off the top and let the chips fall.
You know, I think what this does ultimately is just set discipline on the size and the spending of federal government, like the Ryan budget plan, the path to prosperity that we all passed. It shrinks the government. It's going to force us to look at Medicaid in a tough way. I think to send that down the states so they can have, I think, better bang for the buck at the local level. It's going to force us to look at reforms to Medicare to keep that program in place. Social Security ultimately as well. I think those are good. I think those are good caps to have. I'd like to see them lower myself. I'd like to see them tied to a little different metric, but bottom line is discipline helps.
Well, you are from Texas. Now, I want to move through a couple things very fast. We're running out of time. But first, quickly, the EPA is coming forward with regulations. You're from oil country. The EPA is coming through with regulations on emissions that people in the oil industry have said would be debilitating. So, too, say folks in the coal industry. Are these things going to be put in place? Is there anything that you can do in the House to avert their implementation?
Well, we're going to do our very best, Chris. These are job-killing, along with the job-killing tax credits, cap and trade issues, now the drifting, the ozone, EPA regulations. We're seeing just a full-fledged attack on American-made energy, which I don't understand, but we're on defense. We're going to have to fight to try to overturn or stop these. It's going to be an uphill battle.
And last thing, Congressman, your governor, Rick Perry, says that the spirit is moving in him for a presidential run. Do you think he's going to take the jump or not?
Well, I certainly hope so. He's got a great track record in Texas. If the economy is the number one issue, he's got a real solution and a proven track record for it, compelling life story. So I think he's going to help shake up the field when he gets in.
Okay, we heard it here first. Congressman, thanks much for being with us.
Thank you, Chris.